Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. And on this edition, we're going to be breaking down the 2021 NFL schedule. That's right, the New Orleans Saints now know who their opponents will be in what week of the 2021 NFL season. So we're going to be breaking down those games, but I thought that we might just take it back a little bit. This is the third year of the State of the Saints podcast, and normally I used to start with the old voiceovers, right? Before I was behind this camera, I used to just do all the videos via voiceover. So I thought that I might take it back just a tad bit. Even though I'm on camera, I thought that I might bring back an oldie but goodie. So without further ado, somebody hit that ESPN music for me real quick. Yes, sir. All right, so let's get into it. All right, this is the schedule for the 2021 season for the New Orleans Saints. All right, so we see the preseason games. The Baltimore Ravens, Jaguars, and Arizona Cardinals. Notice that there's not a fourth preseason game. That's because the NFL has added another regular season game. All right, so we all know about preseason, not real big fans of preseason, don't really care that much about preseason, so I'm not going to break that down. Who cares, right? Who cares if who wins in preseason? We really don't care. Some of us probably don't even watch preseason. But let's go to week one, all right? Week one, the Saints are taking on the Green Bay Packers. A lot of unanswered questions for the Packers. Is Aaron Rodgers going to play in this game? Is it going to be Jordan Love? Is it going to be Blake Bortles? Who is going to be the starter, right? Are they going to be able to fix some of the issues that happened in Green Bay when it comes to the organization and Aaron Rodgers? That remains to be seen, so we do not know. But even if Aaron Rodgers was to play, I think the Saints would win this football game. The Saints last season had an opportunity to knock off the Green Bay Packers. Once again, the Saints close, but so far. This could have been one of those games that could have catapulted or even helped the Saints get that top seed in the NFC. It's games like this that the Saints tend to lose and slip up, but so early in the season, week one, inside the Superdome, the crowd is going to be back. I have the Saints winning this football game, and the Saints are going to start off the season with a victory. Then the Saints move on to face the Carolina Panthers in Bank of America Stadium. I'm actually going to try to go to this game. It's about 3 hours away from where I live in Myrtle Beach. The New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers have a new quarterback in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold is trying to prove himself, just like Jameis Winston is trying to prove himself down in New Orleans. He's thinking that a new change of culture will help him. And also Joe Brady as the offensive coordinator, who feels like Sam Darnold is a guy that he would love to mold into being a really good quarterback. Defensively, Carolina has improved. They had a really good draft. They got some really good players. They got some really good players last year. We know that they drafted an entire draft strictly focused on defense. These guys going into their second year together collectively as a unit, I think they're going to be much better. And I think the Saints are going to lose this football game. The Saints are going to lose this football game because I think Carolina is going to be an improved team. And also, I just feel like the New Orleans Saints always start the season off a tad bit slow. They always start coming out the fence. They're a little bit stagnant. So this is one of those games I feel like the Saints will possibly slip up and lose to the Carolina Panthers. So the Saints start the season off at 1-1 in the first two games. For their matchup next in week 3, taking on the New England Patriots. New England Patriots, they have Cam Newton right now, but we know that they drafted Mac Jones, the quarterback out of Alabama. So that is the guy that is going to be the long-term solution. The question is, how long is Cam Newton going to be able to play before Mac Jones actually gets some playing time? This game right here, I feel like this is going to be the game where Cam Newton actually gets benched and Mac Jones becomes the starter for the remainder of the season. That's the way I see it. I think that the crowd in New England, I think that the fans in New England, they want Mac Jones. They seen what Cam did last year. He left a lot to be desired for New England Patriot fans, especially a fan base that is comfortable and has got accustomed to winning a lot of football games and going to the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs last year, something that they're not used to doing. So you know that they're clamoring for something new. No pun intended, because I'm talking about New England. Get it? Clam chop. Anyway, I got the Saints losing this football game to the New England Patriots. New England Patriots, I think that they have something to prove. I think that Bill Belichick is going to be dialed in. Man, look, he's seen Tom Brady. He's seen Tom Brady hoist that Lombardi trophy with another team. And trust and believe that left a bad taste in his mouth, because it is now feeding that theory that Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. So Bill Belichick is going to try to take it upon himself to try to prove to the world that he is the guy, he is that dude, he is that coach, he can win with virtually anybody. So I have the New England Patriots winning this game. The Saints record is going to be 1-2. Then move on to the game against the New York Football Giants. The New York Giants going to have Saquon Barkley back. They're going to have Sterling Shepard back. They added Kenny Galladay. Defensively, they're a really good team. You know, they got Logan Ryan over there. They have some really talented guys. But I do not trust Daniel Jones. I do not trust him. I know it's just a matter of time before the New York Giants realize that they made a huge mistake in drafting him. I just don't feel like he is the answer. I feel like he is starting to fall into that Mitchell Trubisky territory where, you know, you got a high draft pick and you just got to cut your losses. Daniel Jones is not the answer. Never will be the answer, in my opinion, for New York. I have the New Orleans Saints winning this football game versus the New York Football Giants inside of the Superdome, and that's going to put the Saints record at 500 at 2-2. Then we have the Saints taking on the Washington football team. The Washington football team still doesn't have a quarterback. They lost Dwayne Haskins. We all know about that situation, him not doing the right things and getting in all type of trouble. And, you know, him moving away from Washington might be something that's beneficial to his career. But they have Ryan Fitzpatrick now. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we all know about that Fitzmagic. Fitzmagic is the reason why I'm doing this show right now. I mean, I think week one, 2018, when he was the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and he lit the Saints up. And that was one of the reasons why I started the show, because I got behind the mic in frustration talking about this game, and the rest is history. Now we're about 1.1 million downloads later. We got ourselves a podcast, ladies and gentlemen. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, Washington football team, Ron Rivera, being the former coach of the Carolina Panthers, I think is going to be beneficial in this game. I think that the football team are going to shock the world and knock off the New Orleans Saints. They're going to beat the New Orleans Saints, and that is going to put the Saints record at 2-3, and the Saints have a bye week after this game. And that's going to set up a matchup, them going to Seattle. And what's up with that? Well, I'm thinking about this. What's up with the Saints always having to travel to Seattle? I only can think of maybe one time I seen the Saints play Seattle inside of the Superdome. I promise you, man, every time it seems like the Saints have to play Seattle, it's always in Seattle. But anyway, the Saints taking on the Seattle Seahawks on Monday Night Football, coming off a bye week. Man, if history showed me anything, it shows me that the Saints coming off a bye week is not a good thing over the last couple of years. The Saints always start off a tad bit slow, and this is going to be one of those games where I feel like the Saints are going to lose. The Saints are going to lose this football game to the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is loud. Seattle is crazy. It's probably going to be rainy. It's probably going to be a little cool out there, and I just feel like the Saints are going to lose this game. I think that Russell Wilson heroics alongside a lot of that talent that they have on that team is going to be enough to knock off the Saints. So that's going to put the Saints record at 2-4. That's right. The Saints are going to be 2-4. So we broke down the game. You've got the Saints winning versus the Green Bay Packers, losing against the Carolina Panthers, losing against the New England Patriots, beating the Giants, losing to the football team, and losing to the Seahawks. So that right there have the Saints 2-1-2 against the Giants and the Packers, and losing 4 games versus Seattle Seahawks. 2-4. I had to make sure that I keep my record straight. All right, 2-4 going into the game versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tough game for the New Orleans Saints. I don't believe what Peter King is talking about. He said that Peter King is the Sports Illustrated writer, for those that don't know. The guy that has an ego the size of Texas and Alaska combined, in my opinion. He's a good writer, though, good columnist, but I just think that he's extremely arrogant. But nevertheless, he said that the game should be over by halftime if the Saints play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this season. Oh, Peter, okay? The New Orleans Saints are a very prideful team, and they're going to fight to the bitter end. That's just the way that the Saints roll. And the Saints are going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because the Saints are going to be motivated for this game. Because the last time the Saints played the Buccaneers inside the Superdome, the Saints felt like they let these guys off the hook. They let them off the hook. So you know they're going to be prepared for this game. And we all know that the Saints' issues are not how they play in the regular season versus top-tier talent. Is what they do when it comes to the playoffs. But the New Orleans Saints are going to knock off the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to win that football game, and that's going to put the Saints record at 3-4, ahead of a game versus the Atlanta Falcons. Look, the Atlanta Falcons, they got a new coach. They got a new GM. They got all these different bells and whistles and everything like that. They got Kyle Pitts. That's great. That's cool. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do with this defense? The defense has always been an issue for these guys. I want you to understand. I'm going to take the schedule off screen for a second. Atlanta. Look, offense has never been your issue. Defense has. You have yet to fix your defense. You have to fix your defense. You have to be able to be balanced as a team. Okay? Having Matt Ryan throw for 300 yards and throwing the football all over the field, that's cool. But eventually you're going to have to stop somebody. And you still have not fixed those issues, so I can't pick you to win this football game. The Saints are going to knock off the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, they're going to beat them. You know, it's a 12 o'clock game on Fox, so a lot of people won't be able to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a nationally televised game or anything like that. It's going to be a regional game, so a lot of people ain't going to see y'all fall. But y'all still going to lose. The Saints are going to knock off the Atlanta Falcons. That's going to put the Saints record at 4-4. That's going to put the Saints at 500. And then they're going to take on the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans are a really good football team. Run the football well. They play really good defense. The AFC South version rather, of the Baltimore Ravens. They're a really hard-nosed, tough team. The last time the Saints played the Tennessee Titans inside of Nashville, inside their stadium, the Saints almost lost that game, and Derrick Henry did play. And I think the Saints kind of underestimated how good those guys were offensively. Now, you can say at that particular time that Matt LaFleur was the offensive coordinator at the time, and he's not there anymore. But there's still a lot of offensive talent for the Tennessee Titans. So I have the Tennessee Titans knocking off the New Orleans Saints in Nashville. That's going to put the Saints record at 5-4. Saints taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. In Philadelphia, last year the Saints lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they underestimated those guys because they were having issues between Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. Didn't know who was going to be the quarterback. And I think that they felt that, these guys are going through some problems. They're going through some issues. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and get this easy dub, but that didn't happen. Philadelphia knocked them off. But the Saints are going to win this football game. Philadelphia, new head coach, got a lot of young talent. I understand all that. But the Saints are just a better football team at this stage. So I have the Saints winning against the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's putting the Saints record back again at 500 at 5-5. Thanksgiving game versus Buffalo. This is going to be a good game. Buffalo is not your daddy's Buffalo Bills, okay? You know what I'm saying? Or not my Buffalo Bills. Maybe your daddy Buffalo Bills was the one that went to the Super Bowl 4 consecutive times and lost. Maybe they're not my Buffalo Bills, okay? Because when I was growing up as a kid, Buffalo was not very good. But they won a division last year. They're an extremely improved team. They have a really good defense. Josh Allen seems like he's turned a corner. He has a weapon in Stephon Diggs. He has all of this different talent. And you also have Emmanuel Sanders, the former New Orleans Saint, playing with Buffalo this season. But I think the Saints are going to knock off the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to be a home game for the Saints. Thanksgiving, Throne going to be rocking. It's going to be an exciting football game. I have the Saints winning. That's right, winning against the Buffalo Bills inside of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Then the Saints have to take on the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, man. They have to play the Dallas Cowboys. I understand Dak Prescott got his new contract. They're going to be a much improved team defensively. Dan Quinn coming over from the Falcons. I think that he's a much better coordinator than he is a head coach. Mike McCarthy, a little bit of a yes man, but that's just the way that he rolls. The Saints are going to knock off the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be a tough game. It's a little bit of a rivalry game. Like, I understand that the Saints and the Cowboys aren't in the same division, but I think that the Saints fans have almost similar disdain for the Cowboys as they do for the Falcons. So I think the Saints are going to knock off the Dallas Cowboys in this game. And I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, that puts the Saints record at 7-5. Let me make sure. They're knocking off the Green Bay Packers. That's 1. Giants. That's 2. Buccaneers. That's 3. Falcons. That's 4. Philadelphia. That's 5. Buffalo. That's 6. And Dallas. That's 7. So we got the Saints winning 7 games as of right now. All right. And then they take on the New York Jets. This is when I feel like the Saints are going to start streaking. Okay. I think this is when we're going to see the Saints, go out there and start winning some football games. We know the Saints start off a tad bit slow, win one, lose one, and then all of a sudden they start knocking off some teams. And this right here is when I feel like the Saints are going to start reaching their stride, knocking off the New York Jets. The New York Jets, they have Robert Saleh as the head coach. They got Zach Wilson as the quarterback. We know Sheldon Rankins is over there now. We know Justin Hardy is over there right now. Wishing those guys all the success in the world. I feel like the Jets are going to be improved versus how they were last year with Adam Gase as the head coach, who was an absolute train wreck. And I just think that the Saints are a better team right now than the Jets. The Jets are going to win some games. That's right, Packy. The Jets are going to win some games, but they're not going to beat the Saints, right? So we got the Saints knocking off the Jets. The Saints are going to win this football game. That's going to give the Saints their 8th win of the season. And we're going to see the Saints move on versus Tampa Bay on Sunday Night Football. This is when I feel like Tampa Bay is going to get their revenge on the New Orleans Saints when it comes to the regular season. The Saints dominated these guys on Sunday Night Football last season in the regular season. I mean, just completely embarrassed them. Had a lot of people changing their minds about what they thought about Tampa, even though we know Tampa Bay changed the minds of a lot of people hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. That's all that matters when it comes down to it. I think they're going to knock off the New Orleans Saints right here. This is going to be a victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they're going to, show people that, okay, they knocked us off, but they're not going to do this again. Tampa is going to beat the Saints on Sunday Night Football. So, once again, that's going to be a loss in the L column for the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints are going to take on the Miami Dolphins. The next game, the Saints are playing the Miami Dolphins inside of the Superdome. And this game is going to be exciting. Brian Flores has done an outstanding job for the Miami Dolphins, really changing the narrative about what a lot of people think about Miami Dolphins football. And me personally, I just think that this is going to be one of those games that the Saints actually have to really fight in order to win. This is going to be one of those games where I feel like the Saints, they're going to have to really show what they have, because the Miami Dolphins, they are a very powerful team. And they're extremely talented, man. And I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a battle between Devontae Parker and Michael Thomas. Look, we know about the little beef that they had a couple of years ago. They never got opportunity to go toe-to-toe. So, both of these guys are going to try to prove the other wrong. And they're going to try to show the entire world that, okay, I belong at being one of the best wide receivers in the game. So, I have the Saints winning this game. It's a home game for the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be an exciting game. But I have the Saints knocking off the Miami Dolphins. And then the Saints are going to have another home game versus the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, I feel like the Saints are going to win this football game. The Carolina Panthers are going to get the victory earlier in the season against the Saints. And I just think the Saints are going to knock off the Carolina Panthers this time around. I think that the Saints are going to fix some of the issues that plagued them earlier in the season. They're going to be a much better team. They're going to be a much more physical team. And they're going to win this football game. So that right there is going to put the Saints, give them the 10th win of the season. And the final game of the season, they're taking on the Atlanta Falcons. And this game is a toss-up. I feel like both teams are going to be battling possibly for a playoff spot. But I have the Saints winning this football game too. That's right. I have the Saints sweeping the Atlanta Falcons this season, sweeping them, knocking them off. And it's going to really quiet a lot of these Atlanta Falcon fans who are still talking about their overall record, because that is going to have the Saints tied for their overall record, so y'all can go ahead and be quiet and ride off into the sunset and realize how much of a loser of a fan base that you guys really are. And y'all can stop looking at other teams to solve your problems when it comes to New Orleans Saints, because you can't get the job done your doggone selves. I have the Saints knocking off the Atlanta Falcons, and that's putting the Saints record at 11 wins and 6 losses, okay? 11 and 6. The Saints are going to be 11 and 6 this season. That is my prediction. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about the New Orleans Saints? What do you think their record is going to be? Comment down below. Like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Also, facebook.com, search The State of the Saints podcast. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?